guys and welcome to a new video. Today I'm here to do a book haul. So I've been a little ill during the past couple of days, but everything is fine now. I have a book haul. There were some sales, I picked up some books. Most of them are classics that I really want to talk to you about because yeah, I just thought it was a good opportunity to get some of these books. And today we are sitting down because I couldn't get my tripod out, the big one, so we are sitting down with a small tripod. The first book I have here is George Orwell's Animal Farm. This is in the Penguin Modern Classics edition. This book is very small, but it's usually like not, I can never find it below 10 euros, which is ridiculous. And so this time it was on sale and I thought this was the time to get it. I think it will be a much easier way into George Orwell since I have read his non-fictional works, essays, and so I think I really want to read Animal Farm, even maybe before 1984. Even though I know kind of what I'm getting into with 1984, I also kind of know the premise of Animal Farm, and it's such a classic that I think I should really read, and also it's short, so it won't be overwhelming. I wanted to pick this edition up because it matches the other one I have of 1984, and so yeah, can't wait to read this. I've heard amazing things about it, and also I think George Orwell is so clever and such an interesting writer with such interesting ideas and concepts that I really want to check this out. The next book is the first play that anything that's not true, but it's the first work I own of this author. I didn't take a class on Shakespeare in university, even though I am an English major, because we could kind of pick our classes. I'm familiar with some of his work. I try to educate myself. I watch Lauren Wade's videos on Shakespeare plays, and I picked up this one because it was on sale. It's As You Like It. This is the Pelican Shakespeare editions. They all match and they have all these like fabulous designs and they are all really pretty, so I might actually like collect them all in this format. It's a very lightweight floppy paperback, but it has essays in the beginning, which I think is going to be very, very useful for me since I haven't studied this. So when I do read it, it will be on my own. Maybe I will like watch YouTube videos or something to help me out. Maybe there's an adaptation I can watch first. That being said, I of course want to, delve into Shakespeare and kind of learn about his work and kind of make justice to my degree. And so yeah, I picked up this one, which is edited by Frances E. Dolan. The next three novels though are the bread and jam of my life. Most of this, that's a lie. I know kind of what the plot is about, but if you know me, you know I love two things. I love a lot of things. I love Jane Austen, and then I love Victorian novels. I've praised Elizabeth Gaskell's novels many times before. A lot of people know I love Jane Eyre, but the only edition I ever read was in Portuguese. So yeah, I want to read more Bronte, and I wanted to read more, and I wanted to own these specific editions. As you know, I love the Penguin English Library editions. And so I saw this on sale and I thought this was the time to get them. The first one I have here is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. This cover is lovely, lovely, lovely. It's so beautiful. I'm in love with this edition. The white is gonna get very ruined, but it's so beautiful. So I have watched the adaptation, which is from the 90s, I think, with Tavis Stevens, funnily enough, who also did an adaptation of Jane Eyre. In 2005, I believe, or something like that. I love these editions. They are very comfortable to read. As you can see, they are very floppy. The letters are just the right size for me to read classics. This novel is kind of the first proper novels that you can say it's a feminist book. It's an epistolary novel, so it's written in letter form, which I don't think I have a problem with. It will get some getting used to. I'm really into reading this story. I think it's going to be fascinating. So Ellen Graham, who is the protagonist in the story, has arrived to this town and has rented tenant is now the tenant of Wildfell Hall, and she lives alone with her child, and she gets paid to paint. Since she arrived to this town, she gets, everyone talks about her. They have, all these crazy theories, and there's a lot of gossip going around about her. And so someone, Gilbert, I think, gets curious and actually goes and talks to her and gets to know her, and he actually helps her and is an ally of hers. This book, I'm very excited to read Anne Bronte's prose. I'm very excited to read this book. I'm very interested in the story and the characters, and the book itself is lovely. The next book is not something I haven't read before, so this is a copy I purchased because I wanted to own an English version, probably give away or lend my Portuguese edition to my parents, because I do think they should read it too, but I really wanted to own an English edition and maybe read it again. So what I have is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, again in the English Library editions. We all know Jane Eyre's story. She's an orphan. Her aunt sent her away to a boarding school where they are very bad to her. And then when she gets out of this school, she gets a job as a teacher to this young girl in this mansion, and so she becomes an employer of Mr. Rochester, and then, things happen. It's a very gothic, very beautiful, very eerie, and very empowering novel. I just find Jane Eyre and the whole development of her character to be so beautiful and empowering. And so yeah, I am very, very happy to own my own copy of this book in English, and can't wait to read it again, to be honest, because Jane Eyre is one of my favorite novels of all time, and I keep giving Jane Eyre to people, like this edition specifically even, but I haven't actually read it in English, and I love the story, so yeah, can't wait to check it out. The last book is Brick. So I know the Bronte sisters, and I love Elizabeth Gaskell's North and South. And so when I was searching what other female Victorian authors were popular and interesting to read, I came across George Eliot, who is a woman writing in this sort of genderless name. She was actually married, and her husband was fine with her writing, and she could make a living out of writing, which is impressive. So there's a lot of social commentary in Elizabeth Gaskell's work, and I've heard that there's a lot of social commentary on George Eliot's book as well. So I picked up this one, which I found to be interesting and also really pretty, which is Middlemarch. I love this copy. I love this cover. I'm in love with all the portraits. I don't know much about the plot. I do know this book is massive, so it's gonna take me a while to read it. But it sounds lovely. It sounds like it has a lot of social commentary. There's a lot of characters, I'm pretty sure. There's an unhappy marriage. There's a lot of heart as well, and flawed characters, which is, interesting to read about if we learn anything from reading Jane Austen. There seems to be a very big array of characters. I cannot wait to one day delve into this Brick, because to be honest, I just wanted to read more Victorian authors, and also this cover was beautiful, so I've had this book on my wish list for years and years and years, and so I was really happy to pick it up. But then, because I'm not just about the classics, and I do enjoy some contemporary reads, as you know, one of my favorite authors is Sophie Kinsella, and I am kind of pacing myself and trying not to read all of her books back to back. She has a new one coming out, or it has already come out, which I am incredibly excited to read. But this one was on sale, and I've heard amazing, this is a lot of people's favorite Sophie Kinsella book. So I thought it would be my next read. I think it will be a very nice next read, and that is 20s Girl. So I guess there's a little bit of magical realism in this one, because she kind of starts seeing one of her ancestors or someone from the 20s, and so that sounds interesting. I have no idea of the plot, and I think that's a very good way of going into Sophie Kinsella's books. I read the back and then I just start reading. Most of her characters are very funny. They have such a big heart. They are so well crafted because they feel real people. Her books are lovely, but also very, very funny. and all of my colleagues and I kind of love her. We keep recommending Sophie Kinsella to other people because it's so funny, but it's also good chick lit. So for people who are very pretentious about not reading rom-coms or not watching rom-coms, not reading rom-coms, not reading chick lit, Sophie Kinsella is kind of the bridge. A bit like Jill Mansell kind of is also doing this sort of bridge between the people who don't usually read romance novels and the people who only read romance novels. And I think it's very good to have a broader reading experience. Sophie Kinsella really does that for me. Her books are very character driven and they also have usually insanely funny plots, but they are very character driven and they are very cute. And the romances, I find, are very interesting and healthy and just lovely. So yeah, this was my last pick during this haul. I just thought I would throw in something fun in the middle of all the seriousness of the classics, even though I'm pretty sure some of this will amuse me tremendously. And with that, I conclude this book haul. Have you gotten any new books lately? Tell me so in the comments. If you've read any of these books, please tell me what you think of them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check them out, all my media links are in the description bar below. And I will see you soon with a new video soon. Bye!